It's a MeatEater podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth, and today we're joined by Steve, Janis, Cal, Randall, Brody, and Seth. This is episode 2 of the 2024 MeatEater Trivia Championship. This championship will span 3 episodes. Whoever has the most points after 30 questions will be declared the 2024 MeatEater Trivia Champion. So if you're behind on the show, pause this one and go back and listen to last week's episode. All right, everybody's caught up now. The entire championship is sponsored by Athletic Brewing, who will be matching MeatEater's donation and sponsoring 3 Moneyball questions. The winner will get to choose where the $3,000 donation goes.
$3,000!
The biggest in MeatEater trivia history. And combined with the Moneyball questions, this year's championship has a donation potential of $4,200.
Did I bump it, Phil?
I was trying to hurt.
I feel like it kind of looked intentional from this angle. I'm not going to lie.
Episode 2 is a tough start. We've had Brody bump the camera, and Phil has had to readjust it. Now, there are no stats, IFAQs, or housekeeping this week, but we will get a scoreboard update from Phil the engineer. Phil, what does the leaderboard look like after round 1 of the championship?
Let's pull it up. Here we are. Seth Morris has 5 points. Janis Putelis has 6. Ryan Callaghan and Stephen Rinella have 7 points apiece. Brody Henderson has 8. And Randall Williams is in first place with 9 points.
We had some long faces after round 1, but I'll remind everyone that this game could change very quickly. Last year, Randall only got 4 right in round 1, but got 9 right in round 2 to give Steve and Brody a scare. Also last year, Brody went into game 2 with a 1-point lead on Steve, just for Steve to end up winning by 1. So everyone still has a chance.
Remember that? Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I remember getting those 9 points and thinking we shouldn't have done this whole cumulative thing.
It'd have been amazing if you would have gotten a perfect game and still lost.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
That would have been fun. All right, besides getting to make the biggest donation in MeatEater Trivia history, the winner will get their name on our MeatEater Trivia Champion plaque that hangs in the studio. Brody has the 2022 winner plaque. Steve has the 2023 winner plaque.
Seems like so long ago.
They're the only names on the trophy, which was made by our late friend Ed Newman. So this is what you boys are competing for. And since we want more traffic to see this, we got to think of a better place to hang this thing.
You could call it Newman's own plaque.
Oh, we
Now,
could.
do you get to choose the totem that goes by your name?
Well, that was all created prior to Randall joining the company, and everyone had a little avatar assigned to them. So, what would yours be, Randall? This isn't bad luck or anything.
A catfish.
A catfish.
Yeah.
Okay, very Ohio.
Is there a reason for that?
It just sort of matches my general aesthetic, I think.
All right, the Shelby index for today is a 4, so our winner should get 8 correct answers. With that,
We've made it
to round.
We've made it through the intro, and
2.
Steve has stayed true to
He
his...
declared he's going to be quiet this episode.
You could write stuff to communicate.
He's just going to open his Athletic Brewing beers loudly, slurp loudly, write loudly, but he won't talk.
Would you be a pre or post spawn catfish, Randall?
I hadn't really given it much thought.
He'd be a pre-spawn one who's got a lumpy head on him. There's a channel cat, they'll get a really lumpy head right when they're like in that last week of spawning. And it confuses a lot of people thinking they caught a blue catfish because it alters their appearance so much. That can be you, Randall. A pre-spawn, lumpy-headed channel catfish.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good job, Spencer.
Big belly,
Kind of redeemed yourself from last episode.
discolored.
And with that, we're on to round 2 of the championship. Play the drop, Phil.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
Game on, suckers!
Round 2.
Question 1 of round 2. This is question 11. The topic is hunting, and this will be multiple choice. This first great question is via Joe Singwald. What state is the Pope and Young headquarters? Is it Indiana, Texas, Minnesota, or Tennessee? What state is the Pope and Young headquarters? Indiana, Texas, Minnesota, Tennessee. Nobody looks real confident in their answer. Seth, do you know this one or are you just guessing?
I just guessed.
What state is the Pope and Young headquarters? Indiana, Texas, Minnesota, or Tennessee? The room looks stumped.
Starting out with bad energy this round.
Maybe we need Steve to talk a little. You got any words in you, Steve? No.
If this wasn't multiple choice, I wouldn't have guessed any of these.
Okay.
I'll just put that out there.
Well, that's what I often reserve the first question, the multiple choice question, for one that you wouldn't have a shot at, for filling in the blank. So what state is the Pope and Young headquarters? Indiana, Texas, Minnesota, Tennessee. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Janis saying Indiana. Randall says Texas. Cal says Indiana. Steve says Indiana. Brody says Indiana.
Just gonna erase
Nobody
that.
got it.
Tennessee.
The correct answer is Minnesota.
Shit.
God, I was going to be so mad if it was Indiana.
Pope and Young HQ is in Chatfield, which is about 90 minutes southeast of Minneapolis. The population 3,000 town was home to the Pope and Young Museum, but it was announced in 2021 that it would move most of its artifacts to the Wonders of Wildlife National Museum in Springfield, Missouri.
I feel like your
That's
strategy.
what I was going with was Missouri. That's
What I was thinking.
Yeah.
Do they do their banquet there?
They might.
Yeah.
Missouri was not an option. Like I
Yeah.
said, they've moved most of their museum's artifacts there, but the headquarters is still in Minnesota.
I feel like your strategy on question one, the multiple choice one, has changed over time. Like I feel like you
what do you
used
think
to
has
start
changed?
people out with an easy one.
Well, this is the tournament, Brody. We're going to make our winner earn it in 2024.
I cooked dinner at a Coulter Wall last night and still didn't guess Saskatchewan. That just pissed me off so much.
Question 2. The topic is conservation. The USGS uses this 9-letter word to describe, quote, animals and plants that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction. The USGS uses this 9-letter word to describe plants and animals that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction. See a lot of hangman and erasing happening for our 6 competitors. No one seems to have nailed down the answer quite yet. The USGS uses this 9-letter word to describe animals and plants that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction. Steve, do you have this one?
Unclear.
Unclear. Okay, you got a 9-letter word, though. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I know the answer, if I change the answer to conform to 9 letters.
9-letter word.
That's what happened to me if you want to know the truth.
Okay.
The floodgates have opened.
You get looking at that and you're like, huh.
We pried it out of him. This is a direct quote from the USGS. Animals and plants that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction. Seth, how do you feel about your answer?
Yeah, if you hadn't given that little letter Q deal, I'll shut up after this.
Okay.
I would have put the wrong answer down.
Oh, all right.
I threw down an answer and then counted afterwards, and it worked out.
Okay.
Probably
Nice,
still spelled
huh?
it wrong, though.
That's where it gets you.
9-letter word used to describe animals and plants that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction. Randall, do you have this one right?
I got a 9-letter word.
Okay.
Man.
We may have a good portion of our players starting 0 for 2 in round 2.
That'd be fantastic.
Animals and plants that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction. Do you boys give up who don't have an answer?
No, I need 30 seconds.
30 seconds. It's a big ask. Maybe,
No, it's not.
Maybe Steve can fill in some of the silence. No, he won't do it. Shaking his head no.
If you got a question.
Yanni? Animals and plants that are in decline and may be in danger of extinction.
Let's just get on with it, man.
That's what it took. We needed some...
Yanni's putting something down.
You know, I'm helping with a fundraiser for the Lesser Prairie Chicken.
Okay.
It's kind of like the poster child for
Blinkety blank.
grasslands.
Mm.
And both of those things are big time in.
Do you have this one right, Cal?
I hope so, but
Okay.
I'm unsure of myself.
Yanni, I
USGS
think you're
is
out of
interesting.
time.
Yeah,
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying threatened. Janis without an answer. Randall says imperiled. Cal says threatened.
I like how Cal spelled it wrong to make it 9.
Or he counted wrong. Steve says imperiled. And Brody without an answer. The correct answer is imperiled. Steve and Randall got that one right. The USGS uses
This has gotta be
imperiled
different.
to describe at-risk plants and animals. Any animal that's listed as endangered, threatened, or vulnerable can be considered imperiled. In the United States, there are about 1,500 species that are imperiled.
Yeah, I had a lot of words I wanted to use that had 10 letters.
Would you have
Vulnerable, threatened,
Threatened.
endangered. I think those are all 10-letter words. Question 3. The topic is fishing.
Because the IUCN goes threatened, endangered, doesn't it?
species of least concern? And
Imperiled is just a sort of a catch-all term for everything that's listed.
And you said who's according to who?
That's right.
USGS.
Steve likes the
Great
question. Question 3. The topic is fishing. This word is both an immature insect and a female deity in Greek mythology.
What's the topic?
Fishing. This word is both an immature insect and a female deity in Greek mythology. Steve and Brody quick to answer. Yanni, Randall, and Seth now joining them. This is question 3.
I couldn't tell if Randall was gassy or couldn't think of it.
What did you
Did you
determine?
notice my lips kind of fluttering in the breeze there?
What did you determine, Steve?
He was gassy. He's got it right.
This
He's
word.
trying to hold back a beer belch.
This word is both an immature insect and a female deity in Greek mythology. Brody going back to his whiteboard after being the first person to write his answer. Cal, do you have this one right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would hope.
Brody, you ready?
Sure.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth and Janis and Randall and Cal and Steve and Brody saying nymph. They got it. The correct answer is nymph. A nymph is a juvenile form of aquatic insects that fly anglers often try to imitate. In Greek mythology, nymphs are a large class of female deities that are often associated with trees and water. These nature goddesses preside over natural features such as beaches, meadows, caves, and clouds. Question 4. The topic is woodsmanship. This is our Athletic Brewing Moneyball question of the week. For every correct answer provided, Athletic Brewing is going to make a $100 donation that's capped at $500. This week, Athletic Brewing is giving to the National Wild Turkey Federation. Here is your Moneyball question. Mount Hood is the tallest mountain in this state. Another Moneyball question for NWTF. Last week we had $200 that went to them. See if we can up that this week to the capped amount of $500. Mount Hood is the tallest mountain in this state. Brody, Steve, Randall, Yanni all have answers. Seth, do you have this one right?
I'm having yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I hope you do for the sake of the National Wild Turkey Federation.
That's right.
Yeah, same.
Only one of you can get it wrong. So we can get that $500 donation from Athletic to them. Cal, how we doing down there?
Not great.
Mount Hood is the tallest mountain in this state.
But if everybody's got an answer, I'm ready to rock.
You ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying New Hampshire. Janis says Oregon. Randall
brain fart.
says
Far
Oregon.
away from the truth.
That's Mount Washington.
Cal says Washington. Steve says Oregon. Brody says Oregon.
Shit.
The correct answer is Oregon, meaning we're making a $400 donation
Right.
No, Athletic
to
Brewing.
NWTF. That's
Athletic
right.
Brewing
Athletic
is making
Brewing
that donation.
is making the $400 donation.
Take care of our partners.
At 11,249
It's
feet in elevation, it's the 4th tallest mountain in the Cascades and the 284th tallest mountain in the United States. You can see the mountain from Portland, which is about 50 miles away. The USGS says there's roughly a 5% chance that the volcano erupts in the next 30 years.
Ooh.
Question 5.
Like that.
The topic is natural history. That's like the same odds as that asteroid hitting in 2032. I think they've got that at like 2.4% or something. Yeah.
5%. If you gave me 5% draw odds on a sheep tag, I'd take it in the next
In the
30
next
years.
30
City
years.
destroying size, but I think they downed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Still
Question
scary.
5.
You ever watch that movie Melancholia?
No.
No. Go on.
You ever watch that movie
You know
Armageddon?
what to say about Armageddon?
Don't want to close my eyes.
Yeah.
Great
Question 5. The topic is natural history. This American island was known as the whaling capital of the world in the 18th and 19th centuries. Randall, very quick to answer. This American island was known as the whaling capital of the world in the 18th and 19th centuries. Steve, do you have this one right? Yes. Gave a grunt.
I like the kind of questions that I would
Affirmation.
know and Randall wouldn't know. That's
okay.
a good question for me.
We'll see. We'll see if we got
Big
any more
Moby
of
Dick
those.
guy here.
No, you are.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how many letters?
Don't be spoiled.
Not
this word,
giving, you
Randall.
any, not giving you any letters.
It's the most common thing you could possibly associate with the topic of whaling.
Maybe if you
I
live
got
here.
I got a real clue, but I'm not
Okay.
gonna give.
All right.
Randall just gave all the clues you need.
This American island was known as the whaling capital of the world in the 18th and 19th centuries. This is question 15. We'll get a scoreboard update from Phil the engineer after this.
Can you
In doing the Meat Eaters American History series, we have weighed around and kicked around and decided against, and then re-questioned and decided against doing one on whaling.
I just read in Heart of the Sea.
Oh, yeah.
How many
Such a
questions?
round
How many clues are you going to give out here?
I don't think that gives out a hint unless you've...
That's got my favorite, one of my favorite quotes of all time, and
Oh.
the book does. Know him? I had him.
That's a good one. Brody, how we doing over here?
We'll find out.
Okay.
I don't
Is
think
everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We
Oh,
have Seth
son of a bitch.
saying
pardon my
POW.
language.
Yanni scratched her out. There was a man from Nantucket.
That's Prince of
That's
Wales.
that's the beginning of every lyric.
I knew it wasn't
know.
that. Spencer.
Giannis crossed
Just for
out
the record.
Nantucket and put down Long Island. Randall says Nantucket. Cal says Nantucket. Steve says Nantucket. Brody says Long Island. The correct answer is Nantucket.
They all wrote it down so fast, I thought they couldn't write Nantucket that
Nantucket is located about 30 miles off the coast of Massachusetts. During its whaling heyday, the small island community was considered the wealthiest place in America. It's estimated that Nantucket whalers killed 40,000 sperm whales between 1690 and 1870.
Wow. The reason we decided not to do Nantucket or not to do whaling is because so much of the action is out of the U. It's like they're based in the
Sure,
U.S., but
like
the
South
action is
America.
in the South Pacific, and you know what I mean. So we didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not fixing to do it.
Phil, we're halfway through round 2. Give us a scoreboard update.
I could go on. Other reasons why.
It's heating up. Unfortunately, not for Seth, who has 6 points. But after that, Janis has 8. Cal has 9.
Oh,
Brody
so
has
bad.
fallen behind Steve. He's got 10 points. Steve's up ahead of Brody now with 11, and Randall is still in first place. He's got a 2-point lead now with 13 points.
Randall
Randall
halfway through
gaining.
the championship
hating.
with a 2-point lead.
That's a commanding
terrible.
lead, dude.
Terrible. Terrible.
Maybe I
game.
should drink an athletic because Randall's on number 2.
Yeah, and I've
Is
also
there,
been
like,
jumping
is there the
cows here.
possibility of a tiebreaker?
Totally. If we do a tiebreaker, we will have 3 tiebreaker questions.
Oh, I love that.
So we're gonna.
Because that's what I was saying. Like, it seems like just to throw it away on one, like,
No way.
you know, some dude saying 4%, some
You're
dude
gonna
saying
earn it.
5%. Yeah.
Question 6. The topic is fishing. And this next great question is via Jeremiah Shearer. This 7-letter word describes the elongated nose of sawfish, paddlefish, sailfish, and sturgeon.
Ain't Bill.
This 7-letter word describes the elongated nose of sawfish, paddlefish, sailfish, and sturgeon. Our players look.
Do you have it,
stumped.
Randall? Son of a...
It's in there somewhere. I don't have it quite yet.
I thought this could
I thought
be.
this was already a question.
We have not had this as a question. This could be a question, though, that I thought Steve would get right and Randall would get wrong. One of those ones he really likes.
I got it.
Cal has it right. Randall declared that he has it
I think you
right.
had it in flavor text somewhere.
Well, what was your first letter? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, he added it in?
No. This was never a question
first
before.
letters.
No. I just ignore what I'm saying.
7-letter word describes the elongated nose of sawfish, paddlefish, sailfish, and sturgeon. Brody, do you have this one right?
I got 7 letters.
I just feel like this is a word that has sunk into my brain in this room.
Okay.
That's very unfair. That's very unfair into my mark.
Okay.
You did it. You gave it away when I wasn't here. Now he's got it because you gave it away.
I shouldn't have said anything. It's
true.
You know it.
Yeah, I bet that this was in a description at some point.
Maybe it was on a
this-
MeatEater podcast.
Yeah,
not even
seriously.
a
Because we've had
trivia podcast.
paddlefish questions. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, and Spencer's a fisheries dude.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Follow the breadcrumbs, Steve.
That's right.
Jeez.
Still doesn't have an answer. This 7-letter word describes the elongated nose
Practically
of
spelled it for
sawfish, paddlefish, sailfish, and sturgeon.
Might have to crack open another thinking juice here. Tastes great and burps like the real thing.
Oh, son of a gun.
Yanni, you may fall too far behind if you don't get this one right.
Oh, I hear you.
This isn't even fun anymore, Spencer.
Seth, you don't have to come to episode 3 if you don't want to.
Might not.
You got to.
7-letter
Because you
word.
might contribute to some.
That's right.
that's
For
true.
Moneyball question. Steve still has a blank whiteboard.
If you make the
He's going to
Moneyball
be real
question,
mad when he hears the answer, I feel like.
His hands are in his head.
If he's not already really mad.
I think we should just get on with it.
And Randall is in his head. Do you give up, Steve? This could give Randall a 3-point lead.
He's not exactly in a power stance here.
You give up?
I do.
It's something that I'm going to be mad when I see it.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. You're gonna be mad. I feel like you do know it.
He's going to break his board.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, go.
don't do that. We like these.
If
new boards.
if Steve gives up, maybe you can give him the first letter. He's not, won't count towards his point, but see if it is up there somewhere. Steve, do you give up?
I just don't have it. I don't have
Okay,
it.
give him the first letter, someone.
N.
R.
It's
N.
R.
And
It's R. Is it N or R?
Go ahead
That
and
was my
reveal your
This is
answers.
going
We have
well.
Seth and Yanni without an answer. Randall
Nostrum.
says rostrum. Cal says
Nostrum.
nostrum.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Brody says nostrum. Steve without an answer.
Oh, I'm so happy.
The correct answer is rostrum. Randall got it right.
mic drop.
Stood up out of his chair.
Yeah.
It is indeed
Oh,
an R.
Rostrum. I was never going to get that.
Yeah, Brody and I were on the
Not-
same page.
Not a
It's like
chance.
You guys
And-
just...
noses, rostrums,
Oh, man. That was
nostrums.
an emotional roller
I
coaster.
almost collapsed in on myself like a black hole, like a dying star.
There was the disappointment of not knowing it. There was the elation of realizing that Randall got it wrong. That was followed by the disappointment that he got it right.
Fish aren't the only animals that have rostrums. They're also found on dolphins, lobsters, and crocodiles. The rostrum often serves an important role,
It's
such
pronounced
as
nostrum.
helping paddlefish
You guys
detect
are just
plankton
messing with him.
and helping sailfish stun sardines. That is a rostrum. Question 7. The topic is hunting. This is our listener question of the week, which was won by Ross Snell. For sending this great question, Ross is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win our listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. This aquatic plant, which is named for its association with waterfowl, is the smallest flowering plant in the world. We have 5 confident players. Yanni is not one of them.
not really a game changer.
This aquatic plant, which is named for its association with waterfowl, is the smallest flowering plant in the world.
Let's just hurry it along, Spencer.
Randall, do you have this one right?
Not yet.
Okay, so there is a chance. There is a
You don't have it
chance.
yet?
This aquatic plant, which is named for its association with waterfowl, is the
I'm not going to
smallest
do that because he's
flowering
got
plant
too much of a lead.
in
Is
the
corn,
world.
is corn a flowering plant?
Yes. Not very small though.
Steve, you have this
Those
one
little
right.
ones are small.
I mean, I feel like I do. Shit, I don't know.
Brody, you have this one right.
Well, I mean,
You didn't put corn. Cal, do you have this one right?
I don't know.
I feel like we're giving the guy with a big lead too much time here.
I
I
wrote,
know, man.
wrote
Like,
something
let's
down
just
real
kind of move
fast.
it along when he's not gotten it, man.
Do you even know
Randall?
how to run the game, Spencer?
Randall, do you give up? This aquatic plant, which is named for its association with waterfowl, is the smallest flowering plant in the world.
How can we never do that deal where you come in and guest host anymore? Like where I get to do that.
You're welcome to do it. I'm making I'm asking a big favor of someone when I do that, so I reserve it for when I really need it.
I'd like to do it.
We'll get you on the schedule, Steve. Does everybody give up? Randall?
Sure, I'll let
Go
it
ahead and reveal your answers.
no.
We have Seth saying duckweed. Janis says duck grass. Randall says duck foil. Cal and Steve and Brody say duckweed.
Looks like
They
Randall
it.
got foiled.
The correct answer is duckweed. Duckweed flowers are so small that you need a microscope to view them. Despite their tiny size, they still attract pollinators such as flies and mites. And as the name implies, they are a notable part of the diet of dabbling ducks and diver
I
ducks.
feel like Randall might be toying with us.
Hey,
Did you
Spencer.
throw that question?
Did you know that the Ocotillo produces the most leaves in a season?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy. I think 13
Most leaves
sets
out of what? Most leaves out of per.
per season. So
Like they grow them and drop them.
grow 'em and drop them
Oh.
13 times.
Never heard that.
Yeah.
I'd like more plants to do that. Question
Sounds like a
8.
mess.
The topic is conservation.
A lot of raking.
This 1964 children's book, which is about the relationship between a boy and a tree, is often used to teach environmental ethics. Steve and Randall, both quick to their whiteboards. This 1964 children's book, which is about the relationship between a boy and a tree,
I also feel like we've
often
had
used to
something
teach
about this
environmental ethics. Never had this question before or anything about this.
Yeah, there's a
before.
new version coming out that includes the national debt. It's going to be a hot seller.
Hey, do you get, if I put down the author, can I get more points?
No, but if you'd like to flex, you could do that anyway.
No.
Oh, I can only think of the author right now.
Really? I could give a tidbit about the author. I don't think I'd be giving anything away.
I'll throw a couple tidbits
No, you
in.
can't be talking about the author. That might jar someone's
Sure.
memory.
Save it for afterwards. This 1964 children's book, which is about the relationship between a boy and a tree, is often used to teach environmental ethics. Randall, do you
Randall?
have this one right?
I don't know if I like it.
Okay.
Can I see what I'm not
I haven't had a
changing
lot
mine.
of children's books.
Let me get a
coming
peek.
across
I'm not
my
changing
plate.
mine. Let me get a peek.
I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to give you the
I'd have to do a
satisfaction.
poker face and a half.
Steve, you have this one right? You know
Let me
the
go
author.
like this. Now give me a peek so I don't poker face.
You'll see it in a sec.
Yeah.
Brody, you have this one right.
I hope I do.
Have
I
you
think
boys read this?
Yeah, I got this one right.
Okay.
I remember
me? I got 3
discussing this
kids.
book when we had kids of the age that we would read it to, and you didn't like it.
No, don't like it.
Oh.
Okay, let's
Steve, this
enough
is,
with
this,
the
is, this is Randall's answer right here, Steve.
enough with that. Let's flip them.
Hold on.
Yanni going to his
I think that's
whiteboard.
1963.
Is everybody
Yeah,
ready?
let's go.
Yanni, go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying My Side of the Mountain. Giannis says The Giving Tree. Randall, The Giving Tree. Cal, The Giving Tree. Steve, The Giving Tree. Brody says The Lorax. We have had The Lorax as a question before, but
That's
the
why I
correct
thought
answer is The Giving Tree. The Giving Tree has sold 10 million copies since its debut. It's about a boy who takes from nature and what the consequences can be when you take too much. A 2007 poll of teachers by the National Education Association declared it the 3rd greatest children's book of all time. Steve, what do you got on The Giving Tree?
He wrote a lot of big country songs.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know one of the criticisms of the book was that his author picture on the back was too terrifying for children. It was like a black and white picture of him. And apparently it scared off kids from
Yeah, he moved to Nashville. He moved to Nashville during the outlaw country.
What was his name?
era.
Shel
Silverstein. He wrote like Alice's. Didn't he write Alice's Restaurant?
We're putting a lot on Phil
hits.
there.
He wrote some hits. Yeah.
Yeah, the Giving Tree. Question 9, and we're going to hold off on that.
Now that you bring it up, the
update
artwork
till
in
after
his
question
other
10.
books, there was kind of like kind of macabre.
Oh, very
looking
unsettling.
stuff.
So I think his artwork was initially also criticized because it was too similar to the Playboy artworort, which I don't know if he did or if it was
interesting.
someone else. But they said this is too adult. Not that it had like adult
Like
nature.
for example, what?
It was just drawn like too rigid. Like it wasn't soft enough.
But
for
what would
kids.
make it more adult?
I don't know. It's just like it resembled what you'd see.
Like if you could come
in
up
Playboy.
with something.
Yeah.
It's not a problem Randall's got.
Question 9. The topic is cooking. Salty is a synonym for this 5-letter word, which is how Michelin describes the taste of Atlantic oysters.
Oh.
Phil, do you have a picture for us of the
I
Giving
can't show it
Tree
right
off?
now, or else it'll screw up the slideshow. But
Okay.
I'll try to add it to
We'll
the
hold
slideshow.
off on
here.
that until the end.
What were some of his
Salty.
other books?
Salty is a synonym for this 5-letter
Missing
word.
Where the sidewalk ends.
Missing
Oh, yeah.
piece.
And why didn't you like that book, Steve?
Don't like it. I don't know.
Question 9. Salty is a synonym for this 5-letter word.
Makes you
Which
want
is
to kind
how
of kick
Michelin-
that kid's ass when you're reading that book, though. Maybe that's why.
Oh, you know what? That was another criticism I saw. There was like a whole group of children surveyed after they read the book, and they're like, he never says thank you.
No, it's like,
in the
what? You
book."
read the book, you're like, oh, that's kind of a prick.
Yeah. Which is how Michelin describes the taste of Atlantic oysters.
You got it, Randall?
Yes.
There he is, right there.
Oh God,
That is
yeah.
the author picture on the back of the book.
Yeah. That dude
which
pulls
is
up, hey,
too
can I take
scary.
your kids to a little book reading lesson?
Yes. It seems like a justified fear.
It looks like it looks like a clay model that they molded over like a.
Phil, pull up some of the
Neanderthal
tunes he
skull.
wrote, will you? He did Alice's Restaurant, right?
Sorry, this is
Or am I wrong?
I haven't heard of that one.
this isn't very
originally,
nice.
but we can look it up.
This is very nice.
Falling Up, A Light in the Attic. Everything on it.
He must not have done Alice.
No, I
They
don't
would have
see
put that
that
top.
saying
of
that,
the
yeah.
list. Sorry, I was wrong. Take that part out.
Salty is a synonym for this 5-letter word,
Let's
which is
go.
how Michelin describes the taste of Atlantic oysters. Yanni, how we doing over here?
Yeah, I'm ready to go when you are.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Seth saying savory. Janis says brine. Randall and Cal and Steve and Brody say briny. They got it. The correct answer is briny. I think we'll give it to you, Yanni.
No, come on.
He's
That's not
pretty,
an adjective.
He's pretty far behind.
Nah, don't give
think-
it to me.
Okay,
Salty
Yanni says he
is
doesn't
a
want
synonym
it.
for salty is going to be another adjective.
Yanni says he doesn't want it. We're
Okay,
not
good.
going to give it to him.
I still want to argue about it.
The biggest taste difference between East Coast oysters and West Coast oysters is that East Coast ones tend to be more briny, while West Coast ones tend to be more sweet. Other differences are that Atlantic oysters have a shallower cup with a seaweed-like finish, while Pacific oysters have a deeper cup and a buttery finish.
Can I hit you with a little tidbit there?
Yes,
Can you start with the definition of a synonym for those of us in the room who don't know?
Synonym same, antonym opposite.
There we go.
Homonym sounds the same.
But is it same letters?
Those are all from a taxonomical
meaning.
perspective.
same
All
meaning.
those oysters, as different as they are around the world, all those oysters are the same species. It's all like regional. You know, like you take one and move him to the other side of the planet, and his progeny are going to look like him.
I didn't know that. I would have gotten that wrong if you'd asked.
So is the blue mussel. Blue mussels are circumpolar, and just one. I think they taxonomists think it's just one species.
Good example of something that's defined by its environment versus affecting its environment.
And from last year's tournament, that'd be a cosmopolitan animal, one that's found across the globe. All right, here's a correct answer review so far. 1 was Minnesota, 2, imperiled, 3, nymph, 4, Oregon, 5, Nantucket, 6, Rostrum, 7, duckweed, 8, the Giving Tree, 9, briny. Here's question 10. This Japanese brand, which is best known for biking and fishing gear, was founded in 1921.
Do we have to spell it backwards?
This Japanese brand, which is best known for biking and fishing gear, was founded in 1921.
Do you know it, Randall?
I do.
This is question 20. We'll get a scoreboard update from Phil the engineer after this.
You sure you know it?
Like I said, I've been reading up on the war in the Pacific.
They didn't put that in that book.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers.
Why was it so fast?
Yeah, everyone was
wrong.
certain.
Oh,
Seth and Janis,
that's not what I meant to write.
Randall and Cal saying
That's not what I meant.
Shimano. Steve says, what's
that's not
it
what I
say? Okuma?
Yeah, but
And,
that's not what I meant.
Brody says
Phil,
Shimano.
does Okuma make bikes?
Why did I go
Correct
so
answer.
fast?
The correct answer is
looking it up.
Shimano.
I own a bunch of Okuma reels, man.
Well,
So do I.
if
No,
Sh-
rods,
How many
not
Okuma
reels.
rods and bikes do you own?
and were they founded
not
in
what I meant.
1921?
Oh my god.
Shimano,
That's what I meant.
Shimano started building cycling components in 1922 and fishing
Son of a-
gear in
I think my glasses just
1970.
blasted across the floor.
They're by your foot, Spencer.
These are the pillars of their
Way over
business,
there.
which has a corporate vision to encourage people to get outside. The brand also made golf gear until 2005 and
I'll
snowboarding
never
gear
catch up now.
until 2008. Phil, hit us with a scoreboard update.
Oh, it'd be my pleasure.
Oh boy.
Oh my
Seth
god.
still
up to be
holding
I would
up
have
the
closed
rear.
out if I'd have just thought for a minute. I would have closed out not that far behind.
With 8 points.
Where are we on this whole Nostrum Rostrum thing?
Janis has
Can we
10.
get that point back, please?
Cal and Brody are tied with 13. Steve has 14.
I just own some of the listen.
and
I
3
own
points
some of those
ahead at
rods.
17 is Randall Williams.
I just didn't think about it too much.
Uh-huh.
I meant that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Going into round 3, Randall is going to have a 3-point lead. Next week will be our final episode, and we will crown a champion.
When are we playing that? How many days?
It's about a week away. We're going to
God,
record.
it's got time to cram.
episode
He's gonna keep reading
3.
that Japanese naval history book, which apparently
Thanks
is
to
a gold
Athletic
mine.
Brewing.
I'm going to be wearing a padded helmet from now
There
until
you
then.
go. Thanks to Athletic Brewing for helping
my blood
make
pressure.
our biggest donation in MeatEater trivia history and for sending $400 to NWTF again this week. Join us next week for more MeatEater trivia, the only game show where conservation always
God,
wins.
man.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur rock hound.